Hi guys, and just thought I'd just take a second to say hello. Quick game of spot the difference. Have you guessed it? Yep. Unfortunately, my wife won the argument, and I had to shave my beard off. But look, outside of my woes of being locked up with my family for too long and having to remove my facial hair, much to my displeasure, I might add. I I just thought I'd just come on and just do a quick video of what I'm seeing at the moment and whether or not it will give you a bit of a feel for the market and opportunities. And where last week I was talking to a lot of the inner circle members that we have at the lead gen here, and also some of the 30 leads and 30 days challenges about assuring everybody that people are buying, and we're seeing customers buying regularly at the moment. We're seeing a flow of people signing up for obviously courses. It's quite easy. Obviously, everybody say, "Well, you're lucky because you have an online course," but actually, we're also seeing people signing up for done for you marketing costs and also consultancy products as well. We're also seeing clients that have businesses being able to actually start to sell things, consultants selling consultancy. We even got a chap who's transferred his removals company into a logistics company, strangely enough. So he's getting contracts there, but obviously that's all part of ebbing and flowing with the supply chain. But for other people who can't naturally sell what they do straight away, we're talking about doing the work now that creates the sales later, building the relationships now that create the sales later. And one of the ways that you do that is by consistently putting out either a webinar or consistently getting people into a community or a group or some sort of crisis forum that will help people to, you kind of look after people to help them through this crisis. And so that's a tactic that can work quite nicely. But the reason why is the routine that we're all kind of putting in place is starting to happen. So last week when people were buying, now I think people are also starting to become good with their routines. And you're seeing people that kind of go, well, I'm actually getting up early, I'm doing a bit of exercise, I'm then able to kind of do a bit of stuff with the kids maybe. And then if they kind of, a family, then they can say, well, one of the partners will have the kids for this hour and then I can work and then another hour, or I'm able to get up early and get out and do some exercise. And people are starting to talk in that way that I've got my routine set. I've got my life back into a bit of order. And I think when you have order in your life, then you become a little bit more settled. So by having that feeling of routine, you then have that feeling of confidence. And when you have that feeling of confidence, you feel less stressed about the situation. You feel like you have control in sort of what's a kind of out of control scenario. And that's a really interesting kind of mindset that the market's got. So as marketeers and lead generators, what can you do to work with that mindset? Because I'll ask you now, do you feel a little bit more on top of your day-to-day life this week than you did maybe 2 weeks ago when the crisis was on? It was a bit novel, 2 to 3 weeks ago, but we didn't really know what to do with that kind of novel world. Whereas now we have a bit of a plan for our week. We have a bit of a plan for our day. We might know what kind of morning, what kind of breakfast we're having. Are we on a bit of a health trick kick? Are we doing a certain videos? I know that I do my Joe Wicks every morning, and that's so important. So by having that routine, we get less stressed, and so therefore your customers are like that in that way. And so getting into their routine as a marketeer should be your number one job. What can you do to start to actually embed yourself in that routine of theirs? Because if you can do, then you would certainly come out the back of this with a fantastic following, a community of people that are consuming your content, are feeling that they're part of what you're about. They're feeling what your vision and values are. They're feeling what your ethos is as a business, and they are going to be willing to go and buy stuff from you. So even if you can't sell to them now, they are part of a community that would then go on to buy. With your consultancy side, can you do so we're talking about a lot of these challenges where it's sort of a free 5 day challenge where you give people a thing to do every single day for 5 days, and at the end of it, then you kind of upsell them into your product. But by part of that challenge, you can then actually put them into your Facebook community or a LinkedIn group. So then they all kind of see people that are like themselves working towards something, which is fantastic for the at home community that we're in, the at home economy that we're in. And so, can you draw people into those groups? Can you set up your own group? Can you set up a crisis forum group that you can bring people into, and then give them new content, and then they go there and interact, and maybe then do a weekly Zoom call to be able to help people, or a weekly webinar on the same day and the same time each week. And that then makes you embedded within their routine. Do think about that. Think about who you're targeting. Think about what their day-to-day lives are looking like, and then see what you can do to get into that routine and get into there every week, or even ideally every day. Joe Wicks will come out this in an amazing position because he's got into the routine of millions of people across the world. You only need to really affect a few people. Maybe it's less than 100. It maybe even be less than 10. If I think about my inner circle, there's only 48 places in its entirety. So do you really need to affect that many people to be able to get your business zooming when you come out the end of this corona thing? So good luck out there. Think about that. Maybe comment below about how you can get into their routine. It's Richard Woods from the Lead Gen, signing off.